we go. This is Get Supple plus Eldoa for the lumbar spine. Today, take your feet at hip width apart. This is where we're going to start for our warm-up, just with a march. And while you're doing the march, standing as tall as we can, crown of the head is lifting up towards the ceiling. We're going to try and mobilize the SI joints with the march by bringing those leg bones up and then bringing some circulation as well into the pelvis. So it's chilly in here this morning. You can probably tell by the way I'm dressed. So we'll go a little bit extra warm up just for me today, and hopefully that benefits you also. Take it to one foot, and with the body weight leaning strong over one leg, bring just the one knee up. We have three like that. And now we're going to take the knee up and bring it out and then in and down. So we're trying not to lean over as we go out. So now we're engaging a little bit more through the abs, warming up, loosening up, mobilizing the SI joints from different directions. We're going to get that femur moving around in the hip socket, and then we'll loosen up even more through the lumbar spine. Okay, other side. Body weight shift, grip of the foot, abs tight, stay tall. There goes. 3 just straight up. And then add that hip extension or that hip rotation. Up and over. So we've got the foot flexed. The knee is coming up to the height of the hip joint. Do one more there. And then with your feet planted, take your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, turn your toes in slightly. And bend the knees. I'm just going to stand here so it might be a little bit easier to see. Between the two total gyms behind me, I'm standing here today in the studio because the light is better. It's quite dark out this morning. So bending your knees inward, then we tuck the tailbone under this kind of goofy stance, but it's just putting us in the exact posture that we need to decompress, open, and stretch. We're going to slide sideways right and then left. So I can see myself in the screen here. I don't know if you tend to do this, but I tend to shrug a shoulder when I'm going across. So I'm watching to make sure I don't do that. And one thing that I find that helps with that, if you really push down, I push the shoulders down towards the hips as I'm sliding sideways. So really trying to make it just about that lower back. Slide, slide. Okay, now pick one side, go over, hold there, take the other thumb, we're going to reach. 5, 4, still keeping those shoulders down your back, make sure the knees are still bent and the tailbone is still tucked under. 1 more. And then the other way across. Good, thumb on the shoulder and then reach. You can add that inhale on the reach, that will make everything expand even a little bit bigger, spacing between the ribs. 1 more. Inhale back to center. Relax the arms down, shake out the legs, hands on the hips, just an easy circle. So we're going to circle. Imagine the top of your head is drawing a circle on the ceiling, coming forward around the pelvis and then behind. Good, nice, big, smooth circle. Circling the joints is the absolute best way to try and spread the synovial fluid all around. Of course, when we grease joints, that's what makes everything work more smoothly. This is exactly what we want going the other way. So making it small or slow rather, but as big as you can. Big move, slow motion. Just so that we're not missing any angles in any tight spots. And back to center. Okay, take one arm up, one arm down. Push body weight into the heel. So we're literally leaning back a little bit. Side bend over. And then take the arm over your head. Inhale, come up, switch sides. We're pushing the hips as well. Inhale up, one more on each side, reach for the ceiling, lean back into the heels, and then slide. Last one, inhale, lift up, lean back into the heels, and reaching over, stretch, stretch, stretch. And back to center. Inhale, both arms right up over your head. Take your feet together. So you're going to interlace the fingers. We're squeezing the biceps in towards the head. Inhale, reach up. You're going to drop the shoulders down. And we're going to tuck the chin towards the neck, belly button towards the spine, and round the back, very slowly coming down, reaching towards the toes. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands on the floor. And then we're going to alternate bending and straightening the legs right and left. Try to deepen your inhales here, breathing nice and deep. And holding center. Tuck the chin towards the neck. We're going to pull forehead towards the shins. Pulling in, pulling in, pulling in. Good, exhale, getting a little closer. So feeling that stretch through the back of the legs. A lot. And then slowly rolling up at arms with your ears. Good, come up slow, controlled, and strong. At the top, full extension, reach up as high as you possibly can, tucking the tailbone under. Okay, now we're going backward. So be brave on this one, and keep in mind, if you can squeeze, if your knees are straight, if weight is in your heels, and if you keep your butt squeezed, you will not hurt your back. You will do wonderful things for your back, but it may be scary. Okay, so we're gonna relax the head back. Keep your eyes open for balance, looking at the ceiling. Try to see the wall behind you. And then we're going to trace a line backward along the ceiling with straight elbows, straight knees. Glutes are squeezing tight together. Push your hips forward to the wall in front of you, weight in the heels. Go back, more back. Stretch a little bit further backward. Lift your chest to the ceiling on the inhale. Good. Inhale, come back up. Give yourself a moment there. Take your feet nice and wide. Turn your toes in, bringing the wrists down at the height of your shoulders, hinging at the hips, flat back, leaning body weight into your toes. So flat back, hands down on the legs. We're going to slide down the legs, unless it's too tight. So just go as low as you can without rounding your back. Another stretch for the back of the legs. This is important for the lower back because the hamstrings attach to the pelvis and the pelvis attaches to the lumbar spine. So that is why we're here. Keep the legs completely straight. Lean body weight down to the balls of the feet. Tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling as much as you can. And then using your arms to pull your forehead closer and closer to the floor between your feet. So on the inhales, reaching out through the crown of the head. Exhales, coming down a little bit further, further, further. Bring the arms out wide. Use your core strength and your hamstrings to inhale our way back up. And then we're going to heel toe the feet back into the middle and relax the arms down. Okay, while we're still standing, take a foot back into a lunge position. So just on the ball of the back foot. And the front leg straight. Inhale the arms up over the head. Pelvic tilt the tailbone under, feeling that stretch through the hip flexor at the back leg. So even if it's not that tight, you should be able to feel a little bit of a gentle stretch there. If it's really tight, of course, you'll feel it a whole lot more. We're going to slowly lower down and up. Keep the shoulders down from the ears. We're doing all of the control of the up and the down with that front leg. Both knees are bending. Inhale down, exhale up. Keeping the shoulders down nice and low. One more. And then you can relax the arms if you want. Bring them back up when you get there. Same thing on the other side. So tuck the tailbone, drop the shoulders, and then slowly bring your back knee down and up. Just go as low as you need to go to feel that stretch. If you have the range of motion to almost kiss the floor with your back knee, go for it. One more here. And relax the arms down, step your foot in. Okay, we're gonna come down on the floor, windshield wipers. Here's a great move that you can do first thing in the morning in bed if you tend to wake up with a really tight lower back. Maybe you already do this one. Taking your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, maybe about mat width, and your arms out nice and wide. We're gonna drop the heels or drop the knees right and left. Consciously bringing some deeper inhales here as we go. One more each way. Good. And then stay on your back, cross one ankle over your knee, lift the hips, tuck the tailbone under, placing your lower back to the floor. So just stretching that out a little bit first. Then bring the knee up towards your chest, pulling in for that glute stretch. So when we stretch the glute here, the piriformis, we're also taking tension out of the lower back. Good, pulling and stretching. So we're trying to bring the chin down a little bit so the whole length of the spine is getting that stretch. And switch. Ankle over the opposite knee, flex the feet, bring the knee in. And then try to breathe nice and deep. Good, pull in with the arms hard. So if the elbows aren't bent, then you're not pulling hard enough. Double check. Add some extra power there, even if it feels quite tight. Make sure the elbows are bending. You're pulling in with some bicep power. One more deep breath and pull it in a little bit more. A little closer, closer, closer. And then relax the foot. Okay, turn your whole body to the side. Use your hands to come onto your belly. So abdomen to the ground, arms out wide. We're gonna bend the right knee, foot to the ceiling, and then lift the leg, rolling that right foot towards the left hand. And my head is turning left. I can see my foot move towards my hand and then switch. So we're just gonna slowly roll back and forth on the right, then the left knee going up and over to the right hand. It really deepens the stretch to turn your head to watch the foot coming up and over. If your neck is a little bit too tight for that today, just focus on the leg, the hip rotation. So good for the lumbar spine, this one. Lift the leg, squeeze the glute and reach. Good, coming back to center. One more before we get into our Aldoas this morning. So hands go underneath the shoulders. Feet together, toes together, ankles together. Inhale, press yourself up. Just really gently though, only the ribs are coming off the ground. The hips, the pelvis stays glued down. Imagine there was somebody very heavy sitting on your hips, so you can't lift that. Come up as high as you can, pulling your chest forward and then back down. We're gonna do 3 more like that. Inhale, peel your upper body off the floor. Your hip bones should still be digging into your mat. Inhale up. Exhale down, one more. We're trying to lengthen the upper body, pulling forward out of the lower body. And down. Okay, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes under, push back to hands and knees, and then have a seat. Have a seat. All right. So first up, taking the legs straight out in front, sitting tall. And if this is already a challenge, you realize this is the thing with wearing black and having all this black in the background. Hopefully you can see. So if this is already a challenge, then I just want you to work really hard. Just sit up tall as you can, as straight as you can with your legs straight. Modify as you need to. Do not round your back. So do whatever you need to do so that you're not rounding your back. We're going to take the feet out, ankles a little bit wider than hip width apart. And then from the inner thigh, we're rolling the legs in. This is just going to automatically turn the feet inward, the toes in, but we're not cranking it from the ankle. It's just from the inner thigh. You can even use your hands a little bit, get that rotation. Kick out through the heels, bring your hands in front. Fingers to the floor, stretch out through every fingertip, drop the shoulders down your back. So big space from the earlobes to the shoulders, elbows and knees straight. Inhale, bring the arms up. Arms up, arms up, arms up, arms up, up, up. And then take the arms out a little bit wider. So not right over the shoulders, out about 45 degrees. Equal body weight on both sit bones. Chin pulls into the neck, belly button pulls into the lower back. See if you can sit at the back of your sit bones just a little bit more, lengthening the lumbar spine. Push the crown of your head up into the ceiling while kicking out through the heels. I am timing this, so we're going for a full minute and we'll just keep adding these cues to make it a little bit, add the perfection to the posture. Good, shoulders are squeezing down and in towards the spine. Good, sitting up taller, roll those inner thighs in. Palms flatter under the ceiling, get every finger just a little bit straighter. Chin into the neck, crown of the head up to the ceiling. One more deep breath here, bring those front ribs down. And then one arm at a time, relax. Okay, one down. So on the next one, you can relax your legs for a second here. We're gonna have the feet wider apart. So just a comfortably wide distance apart. No stretching there, just a comfortably wide distance. Toes to the ceiling. And then from the inner thigh, roll the legs in. Palms out in front like before. Keep the wrists at shoulder width apart. Inhale the arms up. When the arms go up, if it's tight in your shoulders, your ribs are going to want to lift. Try to keep the ribs down. Imagine that you want the whole spine against the wall behind you. So lower back, the middle back, the back of the neck, and then you're bringing the arms beside the ears, biceps right beside the middle of the ears. Palms flat to the ceiling, stretch out through every single fingertip, baby, ring, middle, index, thumb. Spread wider from your thumb to the baby finger. Good, try to keep your head level. Pulling the chin in towards your neck, but not down. The nose is still pointing straight ahead, not up, not down. Ribs are down. Inhale, lengthening the spine, stretching the arms, pull the arms back more. One more deep breath here. Relax one arm at a time. All the way back down. This is hard work, especially if you're tight anywhere. So if it just feels like absolute murder, just do the best that you can. Maybe you're not even holding it for the full minute. If you need to come down sooner, that's okay. It'll get better in time. That's been my experience for sure. Okay, bending the knees now. So you've got the knees bent. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this a little bit better, hopefully. 90 degrees with about 2 fist widths in between the feet. So, or hip width apart, however you can. Just make sure. I tend to see that people go too wide when I say hip width apart. It's literally where your hip bones are, not where all the muscles and everything else is. Feet to the ceiling. So the feet come up, let the knees drop open from here. Should be about 90 degrees on the inside of the knees. I'm going to turn it. Now it's a better view this way, I believe. Okay, arms out in front. Inhale, the arms come up. Palms are flat to the ground or flat to the ceiling again. Equal body weight on both sit bones. Get your spine as straight as you can. So the crown of the head is pulling back on top of the tailbone. The arms are pulling back beside the ears. Good, then make sure the ribs are down, so the ribs are level. Elbows are straight. Bring your arms out a little bit wider, about 45 degrees from the shoulder, then drop the shoulders down more, a little bit wider between the fingers. Inhale, breathe, really stretch out long through the fingers, drop the shoulders again. Good, pressing the sit bones down into the floor, relaxing your knees downwards to the floor. Inhale, one more deep breath here. And then relax one arm at a time, all the way back down. So I want to say something about this. Probably if your body is feeling anything like mine right now, the tightness is, or the effort is in the neck and shoulders. But because of the way that our body is positioned here, we are getting the decompression, or we are looking to get the decompression in the lumbar spine. That's where those benefits are going to come from, but it's going to be by way of the tighter muscles. So if you're wondering how come this doesn't feel like it's stretching my lower back, that is exactly why. Okay, we've got one more very similar to this one. So this time, let's bring the feet even a little bit wider apart. Toes go up, let the knees come down. Hands in front. Inhale, the arms go up. All the same rules apply, but this time we're going to keep the biceps close to the ears, wrists directly over the shoulders. Stretch out wide through the fingers, as wide as you can, uncomfortably wide. Try to keep your face relaxed though. So if it feels like you want to scrunch up your face, that means you're doing it right, but try to keep your face relaxed. Pull the chin in towards the neck, crown of the head, up towards the ceiling. Okay, stay with me here. Breathe. This is what we came for. We're warmed up, we're in it, we're doing the work. It's not comfortable. But if it was, we wouldn't need to do it, right? So we're stretching into some tight areas here that need the stretch. They've gotten contracted from our position. Drop the shoulders further down. Every breath that we're in the position, we're getting more of a release, whether you feel it or not. Elbows straight, straight, straight. Drop the shoulders. One more deep breath here. You got this. Let the knees relax, open. And then one arm at a time, slowly coming back down, cross your legs. Woo! Take a moment there. Excellent. We're going to come down on the floor in just a second. First, an easy rotation. So take your whole upper body, rotating it to the right, with your right hand directly behind your back into the floor. Inhale, lift up, pull the belly button away from your pants or directly in towards your spine, chin toward the neck. Good. On the exhale, look a little bit further to the right. Even the eyes are stretching to look to the right part. See the furthest thing that you can see behind you. Rotating from the lower back, with the belly button, the chest, the nose, and the eyes looking right. One more time, inhale, get taller. Exhale, slowly come all the way back around. We're going to the other side. Left hand behind your back. The right hand is pressing into the left thigh to help with the rotation. Going nice and gentle, slowly going more and more. Good. Take a really deep inhale where you can feel your ribs expanding even into the lower ribs in your upper back. Inhale, get it taller. Good. Exhale, twist a little bit further back to the left. Eyes looking left. See the furthest thing to the left that you can see. And on the next exhale, slowly come back to center. And then give yourself a moment just to recover from that one. We're going to come down on the floor and bring the knees towards the chest. So knees towards the chest. Feet towards the ceiling, flexing the feet, toes to your nose. And then take a hold of your feet from the outside. So the arms and elbows are on the inside of your knees. Feet towards the ceiling. Happy baby. This is that yoga pose, normalizing the lower back. So we're gently pulling the knees down towards the floor. The ankle should be directly above the knees. So you've got that 90-degree angle at the knees, kind of like a frog on its back. Gently pulling down. One more deep breath here. And then release the legs, feet back to the floor. To come up, we're going to hold, interlace the fingers a couple inches below your left knee or your right knee. Extend the other leg up towards the ceiling, brace through the abdominals, and then roll your way to seated or turn over onto your side. Whatever's going to be the better option for you for today. We did it. Just taking that 30 minutes, working through different segments of the body, keeping everything supple, increasing the flexibility, the range of motion, so we can do all the things we love to do for more, for longer, for better. Thanks for coming to join me again today. Stay warm. I'll see you soon.